I call this meeting to order at 6:03 on August 25th, 2021. We'll begin with a roll call. Please say here or present when I say your name. Atagarla. Ulrich. Brecht. Claiborne. Cooper. Crabb. DeVore. Filippi. Finaldi. Fix. Gates. Goff. Gupta. Gaze. Hayes. Heron. Lent. Advait. Martinez. McCready. Paulson. Risvik. Seth. Simmons. Thornton. Jay. Wegmeister, sorry, I had your first name first. Weathers. Yang. Zuber. With quorum, we'll begin. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Speaker Weathers. Oh, and Senator Rulli. Perfect. Now we'll go into the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Speaker Weathers. We do not have a program tonight, so we'll go ahead and move into open forum. This is an open discussion for issues relevant to students. If you'd like to speak, please approach the podium, and then please indicate your name and major. Really quickly, could you guys please put your laptop down for open forum?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Ryan Hurley. I'm a senior in marketing right now. I'm your thrice elected IRHA senator. Pretty fun. So I just wanted to say hello to all of you fellow senators right now. It's so good to see all of your faces again. I always look at what I can best do to help my constituents. And over the summer, I've had a lot of time to think about this issue, if that makes any sense. My biggest priority, and to the Iowa State Daily Writer person watching this, please write this down. We must defund the Iowa State Daily. The newspaper has cut its biggest cost with printing. That should bring their budget significantly down. I think that that money can go to much better groups. I'd love to see groups like the Baking Magazine. There's a fashion magazine, things to that effect. I'd like to see them given some more of that money. I think that it should be given to people who need it more. I think that the Daily has a wide enough base that they can advertise, and that's how they can earn money. You know, that's how it's just done. Second, we must fund programs such as Students Helping Our Peers. I've talked with several of you, mostly on this side of the room, about this. It is a very important program on campus. A lot of people don't really know what it is, but for people who do not have money or are unable at the time to purchase food, it provides free food for those students. I think that's very essential. We've seen some students who don't have the money simply skipping out on meals. That's not a good thing. We need to advertise shop. We need to prioritize putting money into SHOP, possibly from the daily. There's a lot of ways to do this. Third, we must focus on making meetings, not just of student government, but of all the constituency councils, all of the committees, publicly available. Whenever I would try to bring things to the public, people would ask me, last year during my IRHA senatorship, they'd say, can I come to one of these meetings? No, it's closed off. And that was Corona. I get it. But you have to put it online. Put on meeting minutes, put on meeting times, allow meetings with representatives. It's important because otherwise people will feel very dispossessed. That goes on to my next point. We need to focus. Are you all set, Eliana? Okay, good. Yeah, we need to focus on improving our connections to students, and this will be the last time I pull this statistic, but last year I did a little research, and I found that student government has a 13% approval rating, lower than the dictator Gaddafi when he was killed by his own people. I move on. We need to look at the essentials. We need to go back to the essentials. What can we do to make the student experience the best, safest, most affordable? Let's look at programs that work, like Safe Ride, that prevent people from driving drunk. Let's look at programs like our mental health programs that help people who are having crises and need help at that moment, not 60 to 90 days in the future. We need to prioritize these over things that are frivolous, that are wasteful, that are foolish to spend money on. Let's focus on seeing what we can do to most help students and most lower tuition, because those are the two biggest priorities for students, not some wacky personal program. So I'll tell you, if we all follow, I'm calling this the Ryan Hurley Golden Plan of Success, student government will start to win back the people who have rightfully turned their back on it. If actions like this are not taken, the only solution is to completely bulldoze the corruption, set it on fire, burn it up, blow it down. That's the answer, if these are not met. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
We'll go ahead and move into adopting the agenda for tonight. Are there any additions or changes to tonight's agenda? Oh, Senator Rulli?
Motion to move the boxing club bill to the top of new business. Sorry, that's.
You said boxing club?
Correct.
All right. There's been a motion to move funding boxing club. It's 2021-2-007F to the top of new business. It's been moved and seconded. Any objection to moving that to the top? All right. Any other additions or changes to tonight's agenda? All right. With no objection. Oh, Senator Hayes. Any objection to adding Senator Gates and Goff to the roll? Right? Been added to the roll. So we'll go ahead and moving into adopting the agenda for tonight. Is there any objections or to adopting tonight's agenda? All right, the agenda has been adopted. Moving into approval of minutes from last time. Is there a motion to move the minutes from last spring's meeting? Moved and seconded. Any objection? All right. Going into committee reports then, we'll go ahead and start with the Rules Committee with Speaker Weathers.
Welcome back, everybody. Rules Committee is yet to meet. We're still determining meeting times, but we have some bills tonight that we'll be seeing before next week's meeting. So we'll have to find a time before then. But other than that, no meeting, nothing to report. So
Next, we're going into Finance Committee with Director Zastro.
This is on. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? No? Hello? Can you guys hear me now? If it's on. Is it on? Hello, hello. There we go. Is it working now? A little bit? Hello? That's working? Great, thank you. No? Yes? Okay. All right, so I just realized a couple minutes ago that I didn't send out the memo for this week. Really sorry about that. I will get that out sometime tonight for sure. I just so you guys know, as finance director, I have a duty to give you guys an update every week of our current account balances. Whenever I do send that out, be aware, special projects, we just finished up audits from the last fiscal year and there's still an appeals process. So whatever number is currently in special audits is very subject to change. All the other accounts should be mostly set though. So I'll get that out to you guys tonight. We did have finance committee yesterday and I will get the minutes to you guys also as soon as I can. I have that voice recorded, but not in minute form yet. So we saw 3 bills. We're going to waive first read on 2 of those tonight. So we have Boxing Club and Crew Club here. We're going to vote tonight on Crew Club's first bill, as long as somebody makes the motion and everything. So for the Boxing Club bill, Finance Committee sent it favorably. For Crew Club Part 1, we sent it favorably. And for Crew Club Part 2, we sent it with no bias, just because it's a little bit of a gray area in P&C. It's something that I personally think is good to be funded. I think it's all right, but just since it's not laid out anywhere particularly in our priorities and criteria, which you guys will learn a whole lot more about on Saturday. Super excited for that, by the way. Or I guess I'm speaking on Sunday. So we're looking forward to that, and we'll talk a little bit more about the bills when they come up. So if there are any questions for me, awesome. I'll talk to you guys more tonight.
All right, next we're going to go into the PR committee report. And so Bryce or Christian, would you guys be able to do that?
Other than that, welcome back. If you guys want anything regarding your committees or whatever posted on our student government social media, feel free to reach out to myself, Lydia, or Chris.
Next is our diversity and inclusion committee with Director Flores.
Hello. Okay, cool. Hi, so not a lot of updates. We have decided on a weekly time for our meetings, which will be Thursdays at 8 in the office, Senate office. Besides that, we've been doing a little bit of work over the summer with ad hoc, but excited to get started with my committee.
All right, moving into student initiatives with Senator Dvait.
Everything is great. Our meeting's scheduled next Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. In a very big brain move, I have realized I do have also a class 6 to 7 p.m. So that class is getting skipped. Other than that, life is exciting. We're just going to focus on getting our projects back up and running. Oh, and we're also sending out a committee mailer for all the committees. I think the chief officers know more about that. So we can market to students and get more students to join committees. Yay. That's it. Also, if you want to join student initiative, hit me up.
Civic engagement with Senator Paulson.
Hi. Wait, can you hear me? Kinda? Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. Many updates, but we did have a voter registration drive. Registered a
All right, then ad hoc committee with Speaker Weathers.
Hello again, everybody. Over the summer, about halfway through the summer, the ad hoc committee on student government reform started meeting, and we have been turning out a lot of ideas. We've been putting a lot of them into concrete, tangible ideas. And you'll be seeing a couple bylaws that towards that end tonight. They'll just be up for first read, so you can discuss them and look at them for a whole week or so. But the final final ad hoc committee report will be coming out by the third meeting of this session, so that's in a couple weeks now. And by that point, you'll have an update on everything we want to accomplish, everything that we have accomplished, and everything that we're going to be passing on to you as ad hoc committee ends. So if you have any questions about that, there's lots of people on the committee. Director of Diversity and Inclusion, Flores, is the vice chair, and she can help you if I can't help you. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Now moving on to comments from the executive branch with President Campbell.
All right. Good evening, everyone. It's great to see you back, and I hope you've enjoyed the first week back on campus and hope classes are going well. A few updates from the summer to give you an idea of some of the things that we've been working on was early back in June. I believe it was June 4th, Vice President Decker and I, we drove to Iowa City for the Board of Regents Student Leaders Breakfast. We met with student representatives from University of Northern Iowa as well as University of Iowa to discuss the proposed tuition increase presented by the Board of Regents, as well as other issues that impacted the student experience on all three Regent institution campuses this fall. I have a link that I am including in the Campbell Scoop. You'll see in your email inboxes shortly that also has the tuition comments that we had developed on behalf of Iowa State students and read to the Board of Regents on June 24th. Around that time, we had also set up time with Sophia McGill, Iowa State's Federal Relations Director. We'd spoke with U.S. Congressman Randy Feenstra, primarily discussing college affordability and mental health as two topics. There was a variety of student government representatives from this year as well as last year on the call, and he was extremely engaged in the student experience and had lots of questions for us about what it was like to be on campus in a pandemic and hoped that we were doing well. So it was a very personal conversation. As Speaker Weathers had mentioned, we worked on a weekly basis this summer with the ad hoc committee. That will be coming out. Some of the work that's been done there by the committee members will be given in a report that'll be coming in the near future, focused on diversity, equity, inclusion, as well as student government transparency and accountability. In addition, the university right now is going through a review of the U.S. diversity requirements that would impact all students that come through Iowa State University, as it is a credit required for graduation. Right now, the Faculty Senate originally proposed 4 new objectives for all classes to remain listed on the U.S. diversity credits, and that's been since moved to 3 of the 4 that they have to satisfy. So right now, we're working on the feasibility and implementation on what that would look like in regards to a couple different things with those requirements. So we'll have a report and recommendations by December of this year prepared for the Provost's office. 2 final updates here. Late in the summer, we met with Graduate and Professional Student Senate with the Student Health and Wellness team. They had some incredibly exciting updates, one of which their group counseling sessions are expanding to a total of 22 sessions this fall within group counseling. They're offering hybrid sessions, both virtual and in person. In addition, they're rebranding some of the items in recreation services, which is pretty cool. So lots of exciting things there to support students coming back to campus. And we also discussed Cyclones Care campaign And finally, in terms of welcoming new students, both the new freshmen and transfer students that are experiencing Iowa State for the first time, as well as the class of students that came in as first years last year that haven't experienced Iowa State and to what maybe we are at full capacity today, we're welcoming all those group backs with Director of International Student Experience, Tom Sun, Director of Outreach, Christian, and Chief of Staff, Jacob Ludwig, and myself. We attended the International Student Welcome Fair, which was a lot of fun, and also walked around residence halls handing out candy to students moving in. So lots of fun things going on. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take them now, or would be happy to take them over email, or come find me or set up time throughout the week. So I'd pause. Are there any questions you have for me at this point? All right, thank you.
Don't believe we have any external matters or internal matters, so we'll go ahead and move into new business. 2021-2-007 F Funding Boxing Club with Senator Claiborne.
Title. So we have the lovely, what's your name again? Dr. Kathy. We have her speaking for the boxing club, and obviously Finance Committee went through this yesterday. We did it favorably, so everyone should do it. So I yield my speaking to her to talk about it.
Thank you for letting me come. I am the boxing club advisor, and none of the club could come tonight, so I offered to come. We have a great opportunity in front of us, which is why we were hoping to push this through really quickly. But with the boxing club, we would like to bring 2 boxing shows here to campus during this school year. And our opportunity that is in front of us is we've got something called a sanction sale that goes off on Sunday. And a sanction is something kind of like a licensing fee that the USA Boxing organization in Colorado Springs, that they charge us to hold shows here so that they can help regulate them and make everything, safe and ethical. And so anyways, they're a half-price sale that they've put these on for a 2-week time period. So instead of paying $300, we were able to do it for $150 if you agree to let us spend the money on it. We would like to buy 2 sanctions to hold 2 shows here this year.
Senator Rulli.
Yeah, I think this is fantastic. First, in order for us to keep talking about it, we have to waive first read, so I'm going to move to waive first read on this bill. Second read. Move to waive second read.
It's been moved and seconded to waive the first read on this bill. So are there any objections to, that means we are going to go into the main motion then, because this is new business. Any objections to that? All right. Move on to questions for our speaker. Senator Hayes.
Sure. It depends on how many groups we have agreed to come to it. If it's small, somewhat like some of our old shows, we would hold it in the boxing gym in State Gym down in the basement. If we have enough groups that are interested, we're hoping to hold a bigger event, potentially at Sports Iowa, which is right there on the Ames-Boone County border. We wouldn't know until we know how many groups are coming.
Director Zastro.
Is this working now? Microphone? No? Okay, I can just talk loud.
Senator Seth.
Hi, can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, cool. cool. I can't tell. This sounds like a really awesome opportunity and a really good price for this. I just had one question. If the sanctions are funded and you are able to host fights, do you have any plans as to how you would maybe advertise that to the students to try to, get more students to kind of attend the boxing matches?
Absolutely. So I'm a new advisor. I just took over in the spring, but I've been working with the club over the past couple of years just on a personal basis. And we do. So first of all, we advertise out to other universities because they bring their teams here. But then we have been talking about advertising through sororities and fraternities and coming to different groups and truly making boxing a highlight here. It's something that's really kind of been underground. If any of you are at all involved with boxing, it's something that a lot of people don't know about on this campus. But we intend to change that here in the next year or two.
All right, yeah, awesome. This sounds like a really good opportunity. Thank you for answering my question. I yield.
I'd love to just throw a little fact in there in case I bet nobody here knows this. But this past year, the past 2 years, Iowa's had its first ever boxer who was on the Olympic team, Antonio Morales from down in Des Moines. So bringing boxing to Iowa really is, a dream of ours.
Senator Rulli?
Yeah, this is fantastic. In terms of funding this either falls under the Finance Committee decided this either falls under a copyright and licensing fee or a legal registration fee, which are all to be considered on a case-by-case basis. Finance sent this favorably, as this was probably a great opportunity to advertise the club, host events, get stuff back on campus. And I think we should all vote yes on this. So I'm seeing no placards, so I'm going to call the question.
Question has been called for and seconded. Any objection to voting now? All right. So we're going to do, since this is a funding bill, we're going to do Senator DeVore.
I move to add Senator Breck to the roll.
Any objection? Senator Breck's been added to the roll. All right. Well, question has been called for and seconded, so we're going to go ahead and go into a vote. And this one is going to be a roll call vote because it's a funding bill. So we'll go ahead alphabetically say yes, no, or abstain. Adegarla, Ulrich, yes. Brecht, yes. Claiborne, yes. Cooper, yes. Crabb, DeVore, Filippi, yes. Finaldi, yes. Gates, yes. Goff, yes. Hayes, yes. Lent, yes. Edvait, Martinez, McCready, yes. Paulson, Risvik, Seth, Simmons, Thornton, Wagmeister, Weathers, Yang, Rulli. Perfect. Well, the bill passes. Moving on to 2021-2-004F, Funding Crew Club Part 1 with Senator Rulli.
Title? Yeah, I'm going to move to waive second read on this one, as well as this is a simpler one. They have a Part 2, which we'll just see as first read, and we'll fully see it next week. But if the rep looks like they're already up there, I'll actually, motion to waive second read. Sorry.
It's been moved and seconded to waive the first read of the bill. Is there any objection? All right. We'll go ahead. This is the main motion now. So, yield your time.
If you want to talk a little bit about the bill and what you're requesting in this first one, that'd be great.
President of the Crew Club. Ours is a little bit more complicated bill than boxing. So our first line is insurance. That is U.S. Rowing's insurance that they require of us every single year if we want to compete at all. It's a non-negotiable for them if we want to be recognized as a university that rows, which is quite expensive. It does cover a lot if anything would happen. And then the next line item, it says M16 PFDs. Those are belt inflatable flotation devices. They are the only type of flotation device that is safe for a rower to wear while they're actually rowing, so it'll just rest on their belt, and then they can pull it when needed. I'm sure all of you have probably heard of the accident that happened. This is a safety measure to make sure something like that never happens again. And we plan on making sure every rower is wearing one of these anytime they're on the water. And then the next line item, it says whelp repair. The whelp is our 4-person rowing shell that was involved in that accident. It did incur quite a bit of damage. It actually got pulled up onto the rocks, and they ended up dragging it on the rocks. The damage is actually remarkably not that much for what actually happened. So we plan on taking that to Thompson Truck and Trailer in Cedar Rapids, and they quoted us the price that you see on that bill. So that will completely fix all the scratches, dents, and complete repaint. And then we also have to actually transport that to Cedar Rapids, which is the next line item, is we'd actually have to rent a truck from Transportation Services to take it out to Cedar Rapids and then bring it back.
Are there any questions for our speaker? Oh, Senator Crabb.
Thank you so much for coming today. I do have a question for Finance Director Zastro. How much money do we have in special projects right now?
I'll talk more about this on Sunday, but this money is not just a trust fund. It's for emergency only long-term investments in sports. I'll talk a lot more about this on Sunday. This amount from this account, I think, is totally fine. We'll see another bill from this account next week. But yeah, that's a little bit of but I think this money's fine.
Thank you, Finance Director Zastro. I yield.
Any more discussion on the bill? Is there a call to question? Question has been called for and seconded. Any objection to voting now? We'll go ahead and go into a voting period. This is also going to be a roll call vote for funding. So please say yes, no, or abstain. Adegarla. Ulrich. Yes. Brecht. Yes. Claiborne. Yes. Cooper. Yes. Crabb. Yes. DeVore. Filippi, Finaldi, Gates, Goff, Hayes, Lent, Advait, Martinez, McCready, Paulson, Risvik, Seth, Simmons, Thornton, Wegmeister, Weathers, Yang, Zuber, Ruley. The vote of 28 to 0, the bill passes. Great. We'll go ahead and go into our next Funding Crew Club Part 2, 2021-2-005F with Senator Ruley.
Title? Yeah, so if you want to talk about this one too, we're not really going to see it until next week, but I think if we can save a trip for you, I think that'd be great. So if you want to talk about this one,
yes,
go ahead.
I prefer to save a trip. So this is for repairing/replacing our 8-person boat. This was purchased back in 2004. From what I see, I believe student government actually covered the entire purchase. It was parked out at Southwest Rec Complex behind a fenced gate. It's always locked. Sometime between May 3rd and June 4th, someone hit it. There's about the 5 feet off the back of the boat is no longer attached. So we got a quote from Finish Line. Their quote to actually, reattach the boat together was about $6,000, which is a lot. And we'd also have to send that out to the East Coast. But we also got a special kind of circumstance where Des Moines Rowing is actually selling pretty much our boat that we have, but in gray, in perfect condition, and they're only asking $4,000 for it. So instead of going and repairing a boat, which would be more expensive. We want to replace the boat instead, which actually would be better because we've had to repair this boat before and it starts losing structural integrity. So we're hoping to go ahead and buy this boat from Des Moines Rowing, and the club would cover half of it and student government would cover the other half.
Are there any questions of intent? So this is the first read of the bill, so we won't be voting on anything, but you can ask yes or no questions. So I guess we'll go ahead and go on to the next bill then. We're done with that. So thank you so much. 2021-2-006F Triathlon Club Budget Shuffle with Senator Wagmeister.
Title? This one's a little more complicated. When Finance Director Zastro is finished over there, I will yield my time to him.
So this is Triathlon Club. They came through just a regular email to me. Basically, the way that we fund things are through specific line items like I was talking about earlier. And for clubs, if they're going to a competition, they need to tell COA specifically where that competition is. So this is kind of a weird case because their 2020 competition for FY20, which was supposed to be in the fall of 2020, was postponed to fall of 2021. And then between annuals this spring, where we created the budget for this school year, and now their league that they participate in also decided to have 2021 nationals, which is going to be in the spring of 2022. But it's both during the same fiscal year, and they didn't carry over the money from last year. It's just reallocated to them. And so it was originally labeled as, not Tucson, I'm sorry, Tempe. It was originally supposed to be in Tempe in September. And then they said, well, the one in September is actually going to be in Malibu, and then the one in the spring is going to be in Tempe. But since they've already started paying for the registrations, Campus Organization Accounting needs to know that they weren't spending stuff that they didn't have money allocated for. So what we're doing is we're changing the Tempe Club to Malibu. We're funding the difference in mileage since we're funding their transportation there, and Malibu is a little bit farther. And then we're funding a whole new Tempe competition. This will be a really great test to see who's paying attention on Sunday, because it's a little bit of a workaround. It's a little bit complicated. But I hope that the information that you guys will be getting at the retreat will make it clearer. And if maybe will be a good measure for whether it doesn't make it clearer. So if there are any initial questions, I'd be happy to answer those. Cool.
Are there any questions of intent? Senator Seth?
Is the budget presented in this bill split up between Temp, and Malibu?
Yes.
Are there any other questions of intent? All right, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next new business, 2021-2-002F, Student and Family Outreach Team Line, item transfer with Speaker Weathers.
Title. All right. I will just go ahead and defer to Finance Director Zastro for this one.
This is a super straight line item transfer. They requested this in the spring. They were originally given money for FY22 in allocations for FY21, and just everything was carried over because they didn't really do anything last year. And since then, their plans have changed a little. It's a different year. They're doing different things. So we're just changing what the money is called. That's it.
Are there any questions of intent? Senator Seth? You're good. All right. Moving on then to 2021-2-003Y, disbanding student advocates with Vice Speaker Crabb.
Title. This is pretty straightforward. We had student advocates last year. we don't have any desired objectives for the program, and also it was kind of hard to work with like the university on this with this committee. So yeah, that's it. Make sure to look at it next week.
Are there any questions of intent for Vice Speaker Crabbe? All right, moving on to 2021-2-001Y Ad Hoc DEI Committee Bylaw Recommendations with Vice Speaker Crabbe again.
All right, so we've been doing a lot of stuff with the ad hoc committee. Oh, title. Sorry. So we've been doing a lot of stuff with the ad hoc committee this summer. These are all 4 different bylaws that came out of the subcommittee for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Make sure to read through this by next week because this is something that we all kind of came together and decided, but we really do need opinions and ideas if there's a better way to do something. So please do read this through and come with ideas next week. All right, thank you.
Are there any questions of intent? Well, then we'll move on to closing announcements. If you have any closing announcements, go ahead, throw your placard up. Director Zastro?
I meant to say this earlier. Congratulations to Max Rulli on being seated as Finance Committee's Vice Chair.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah, that's it. Thanks you all for bearing with some funny finance bills tonight. Really excited for the retreat this weekend and really excited for you all to get to see more finance stuff this coming year. Thank you all.
I just wanted to say something about the committees that we're going to be filling here in the next week and a half, hopefully. You'll get an email from me with some of those. Some of them, for example, are the Lectures Committee, the Iowa State University Police Department Committee, but those are committees you can sit on as a senator. And so if you're interested in them, please let me know. I'll send an email with more information, and then you can reply to me or text me if you're interested, and we can see we can go forward with that. So thanks for your engagement on this, and we're looking forward to a great year. Senator Hayes.
I just had a quick question for Finance Director Zastro. You quickly mentioned to me that your car was having trouble with, and I was wondering if that was going to be fixed by the time you need to drive people to the retreat.
I texted Dawson about that last night and he didn't text me back. I was able to put more gas in it today. I don't know how sustainable that is.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking for a replacement, or there's also extra buffer room in every single car. So if we need to, we can take them out of that car and put them into others. It'll be solved. Worry not, Senator.
And then just another quick announcement. I have an internship trying to help promote the vaccine on campus. And if anybody is really passionate about that or thinks that they have something good to say about it, you should come find me afterwards because I need to post more often or something. So come find me. Thanks.
Senator Paulson?
I forgot to share this earlier, but this Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m., the League of Women Voters, NAACP, and then the Civic Engagement Committee, we're having a march just as an anniversary to Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, and we'll be walking from Brookside Park, which is by like the skate park, and then we'll be walking to City Hall, and there will also be the farmers market going at that time, so you can do that after, but I encourage you all to attend.
Senator Dvait?
To reflect what Vice President Decker said, among the committees open is the Lectures Committee, which me and your Chief of Staff, Ludwig, are the chairs of. It's a great committee. Lets you work on speakers that are coming to campus. You get to work with faculty. It's pretty cool. Please consider joining it. 2, to continue a conversation going on in the student government office. If you want to go thrift shopping, talk to me. And thirdly, Welcome Fest is going on until 8:30 p.m. tonight, so looks like we're going to be done before then. So go there and get some free stuff. They have really good ice cream, really good pizza. You can have dinner for free and walk out with a bag full of candy. It's fantastic. And good luck on the semester. I yield.
Senator Rizvik? Oh, sorry. Senator Thornton.
Okay, cool. Some good news. College of Design students are getting Adobe Cloud or Adobe Creative Cloud for free now, so that's really great. Previously, you got it as part of your leasing a laptop, and if you didn't get a laptop for the College of Design, you had to purchase it on your own. So that was something that I wanted to work towards, and faculty have been hearing complaints from other students and work towards getting it for them. So that's a big success. And what I've heard from debate is that we're going to go down and do Welcome Fest, and then we're hopefully getting half that after this. So you guys there, that'd be great.
Senator Martinez.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I have a question. Would this be a good time to give you an update about SciRide? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So there are a couple things happening. One thing is that the board approved on June or July during the summer. We approved to have boards or little screens, well, not little, large screens actually on the bus that tell or say what bus you're riding to make it just a little bit more accessible for people with that perhaps have disabilities and things like that. So that's great. And then another thing is that we have multiple positions open at SciRide. So if you're looking for a job, the pay is very competitive and it looks great on your resume. And if you have questions about that, please let me or the other board member know. Thank you. Have a good night.
Vice Speaker Crabbe.
I think that might be our shortest meeting we're going to have this year, so that's fun. I wanted to go over just some little housekeeping items. Mentee Mentor, Omni program. Mentors, please talk to your mentees. Try to get something in by the end of September. So also on this Thursday, my mentees and I are having a bonfire on Thursday at 9 p.m. If you would like to come, let me know. It should be really fun. We're going to talk about bills and all that jazz. The retreat's going to be super fun. I'm really excited for it. Dawson and I checked out the campsite this week, and you know how it was thunderstorming really bad? Yesterday, we got caught in that. That was not fun. But it's amazing space. I'm really excited. I hope you all are excited for Pilates with the president. I'm really excited to attend that. Don't forget to do office hours. They aren't required for the first 2 weeks because of our COVID bill that we did last year, but try to get in the habit of going to them every week, and I'll be checking on those. And then you also get a non-feasance if you don't do them. So make sure to get those in. Also, we have a student government listserv. I know that some of you may not be on that. Please let Ludwig, myself, or Speaker Weathers know if you aren't getting emails for retreat or some of the big things that we're putting into the group me. Okay, and then also placards this year, since we don't have COVID, we will be bringing them in slowly through right here, and then we'll have them for the next week. So just whenever you can pass them into Speaker Weathers. But yeah, this was so wonderful. I'm so happy. Okay, have a great rest of your week.
All right, last announcement, I swear. Yeah, thanks everyone for a short meeting. We purposely kept it short. This is a stressful first week, and we didn't have a lot to cover anyway. But in the coming weeks, we're going to have a lot of bills. We're going to have a lot of programs, so meetings are going to tend to run a little longer, so be prepared for that. But get excited. Begin writing bills. Start the work of the new year. There's a lot to get done, and I look forward to working with all of you on it. And Vice Speaker Crabbe touched on the retreat a little bit. If you have any questions about that, we're going to be sending out packing lists, a lot more information about that in a couple days. But either bring a sleeping bag or sheets, because basically they're bunk bed. They're the blue mattresses without any covers. So, but it looks like a really nice space. It's going to be really good. Go Cyclones! Move to adjourn.
This meeting is adjourned.